I want to dig down a little bit on what this service is for the typical client. You referenced a Hollywood studio,
Sure.
I think. How many items did you say were related to that?
In that one, maybe 10,000 or more.
Right. So you offer software as a service. I sign up, I've subscribed, I'm paying you a monthly fee. And I've got these thousands of objects, and you're going to physically tag them with something. So there's a communication between that object and software, so I know where that object is, going to input information about the object into the system, and now you've wrapped, so I know if the object's there or if it's disappeared, so it should help manage inventory and control losses.
Absolutely.
So that's a benefit. Now you've married it to an AI tool where, to your example, tell me everything that's in the inventory that fits this criteria. So what is your ideal client? What do they look like? And is that a typical one, the studio?
Ideal client profile tends to be universities, it tends to be municipalities, utilities, amusement parks. Like, we have quite a few different types of clients. You have to understand the flexibility of the system allows people to track things across the spectrum. But we track endangered chickens, we track human body parts, we track all the components you use to run a facility.
I was going to say endangered chickens.
Yeah, like literally.
And body parts is a very wide spectrum.
Oh, it's a wide spectrum.
He was speaking specifically to you, I think, in that
And
regard.
tools like this haven't existed in the past. You know, people would say, okay, I've got to track these chickens. I'm going to use this application, my right access database. I'm going to use Excel. And then my computer equipment's over here. And if I'm at UT Southwestern, maybe we've got an area for organ donors, or maybe there's some testing going on with different organs. I mean, there's lots of different reasons people have to track and manage things. So the capability for this system to adapt on the fly with detailed expertise about what it is, whatever it is that you're doing, is an extraordinary game-changing environment for asset tracking in general. It's the person used to have the experience to understand all the nuance of what to track, maybe the specifics about the equipment itself, the depreciation schedules. Now the systems can kind of do it for them. All of your examples are exactly spot on, but let your imagination run to any reason why you'd have to track anything for any purpose, even down to the point where identifying what the thing actually is. So what is this? Take a picture of the pig statue and have it tell you the history of the pig statue and what it is and what it's probably made of. So the technology has moved to the point where it's truly functional in a physical world and helps manifest itself in the software world, so that same inspection tool can also build your inventories for you. You know, if you want to know all the books in this room, just snap photographs and ask Ursa to upload it into Assapan, and it'll build the inventory of all the books in the room.
Sorting and documenting. Seems like museums would be a good.
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of museums.
Because I'm just thinking about even old Parkland campus. Every artifact has a tag.
Absolutely.
Every rug has a barcode. So
Absolutely.
it seems like Old Parkland should be your client if they're not already.
Oh, 100%. And the way that people track the assets really is dependent upon the end client. If they want to use a barcode, fine. If they just want to use a photograph, on the photograph we take the GPS coordinates of it. They can have the information there. If they want to connect with RFID, we have webhooks. If they want real-time device tracking, we have a large client in the UK that tracks. The way to look at it is like very specific drugs for patients with things like cancer and things, that when they create a drug just for that person to ship it. So AssetPanda manages all the logistics behind the shipping to get it to that specific person. So it's that configurable and that flexible, and it adapts to the exact environment that you need it to adapt to for the use case that you're working on.
I read an article several years ago about asset tracking, and it was documenting that some utility company, that each truck had $100,000 of stuff on it.
Oh, sure.
And that they were losing some extraordinary amount of that each year, just disappearing. from the truck, 20,000, something
Absolutely.
like that. And so in that case, am I wrong? There has to be a physical tag would you say RFI, where it's sending a signal. So you know that it's on that truck at the end of the day. And if it's not, somebody's accountable for that. So I know that's a more limited application.
But certainly a good example.
Yeah.
And to move further on that example, the world before was same utility company. I'm assigned to a project and it's a certain transformer that needs to be replaced or fixed. In the old world, the person sees all the tools on their truck, maybe gives it a once over and makes sure that they have the things they think they need. They go out to the job site, oh, I didn't know I need one of these. Well, in the new world, you can just tell Asset Panda, I'm going to service this piece of equipment. What tools do I need to make sure I have? What training do I need? You can have all of that information surface via URSA directly into the asset. So it truly becomes a work companion. There's also applications for this for your house. If you have an oven and you have issues with the oven, you take a bunch of pictures of it and have it inspected. It tells you what might be wrong with the oven. It tells you where you might find parts for it or a service provider to come fix it. So we see this as a global, as basically a global application that anybody in the world that has anything of value that they need to track or manage, they can use Asset Panda for it.